The package arrived the day we buried my grandmother, and inside was $250,000 and a photograph of a man who should have been dead for 26 years. My name is Leo, and this image shattered my entire history. The man smiling back at me is my father, Jonathan Hart, a man who, according to every family story, was killed in an accident before my 3rd birthday. This picture was tucked inside a weathered leather satchel, wrapped in brown paper, delivered to my door with no return address. Beneath it was cash, $250,000 in used bills, and a single handwritten line from my late grandmother, Nora. For the truth he never gave you. Leo, you have the satchel. Listen carefully. Don't contact your aunt. Don't trust the stories. You are being watched. Check the window. The blue pickup truck, see it? Your name is Leo Hart, but that is the only true thing you know. Destroy the photo. I will find you when it's safe. Have you ever looked at a family photo and felt a disconnect? Not just nostalgia, but a deep, unsettling sense that the story behind it is wrong? That the narrative you've lived with since childhood has a crack running straight through its center? Tell me in the comments. What you just witnessed was Leo's introduction to a hidden world? The money was staggering, but it was the voice on that phone, a ghost from his earliest memories speaking words of warning, that dismantled his reality in an instant. This isn't about an inheritance. This is about an identity that was borrowed without consent, and the dangerous quest to reclaim it. 4 days before the funeral, Leo's life was routine. A 29-year-old graphic designer, comfortable in his patterns. His grandmother Nora was 82, her health failing. The family gathered at her bedside, not for celebration, but for a quiet goodbye. Nora's strength was gone, but her gaze was fierce. She pulled Leo close, her breath a whisper against his ear. She described a leather satchel hidden in her attic wardrobe. For you, after I'm gone. Promise me you won't tell Claudia? Not a word? Then, you'll know what to do, Leo promised. He found the satchel later that evening, dusty and forgotten. As he left the room, he caught his Aunt Claudia's eye. Her expression wasn't sorrow. It was calculation. A cold, assessing look that made his skin prickle. Leo, darling, your grandmother was confused at the end. If she gave you any old documents or keepsakes, just bring them to me. I'll sort through her effects properly. It sounded helpful. Concerned. But the specificity of documents lodged in Leo's mind like a thorn. How did she know it wasn't jewelry or a simple trinket? It was the first thread, and when he pulled it, everything began to unravel. After the call, after seeing the truck, Leo's mind switched from fear to forensics. The bills were genuine, all printed before 2012. The photograph, however, was contemporary high-quality digital print paper from the last decade. The man in it stood before a red barn, smiling. The likeness to the few pictures of Jonathan Hart was undeniable. And impossible. The facial search was a dead end. But the barn had a unique Dutch gambrel roof. His search narrowed it to a rural county 3 states away. Cross-referencing with property records revealed a 10-acre lot owned by a J.H. family trust. Purchased in 2007, 11 years after Jonathan Hart was declared deceased. The tax correspondence was sent to a private mail service in a neighboring state. The air in Leo's apartment grew thin. This wasn't a coincidence. This was evidence of a life meticulously papered over. Leo needed guidance from outside the family circle. He remembered Nora's oldest friend, a retired estate lawyer named Arthur Blythe, known for his integrity and discretion. He sent a cryptic email. Leo, your grandmother spoke of a legacy package for you. She said if certain facts ever surfaced, you would need independent resources. She was adamant it bypassed Claudia entirely. What facts, Arthur? Is my father alive? I am not at liberty to confirm that. What I can say is this: the birth certificate your aunt possesses is a late registration, filed when you were nearly 80 months old. In legal terms, that's a beacon pointing to deeper issues. This woman is a genealogical investigator, and this is the address for that mail service. It's rented to a Clarissa Vance, a new alias, a new direction. And a legal expert confirming the foundation of Leo's life was Legal Animalist. Leo pieced together a painful but plausible tale. His father faked his death. Started a new life with a woman named Clarissa. Maybe to escape failure or shame. The money was Nora's compensation for the lie. Heart heavy, he approached his aunt. "Oh, Leo, I tried to shield you. Your father, Jonathan? He was weak. He made terrible choices. He abandoned us. The accident story was kinder for a child. This Clarissa must be his fling. This photo. It's a knife to the heart. I'm so sorry you had to see this." Her performance was masterful. Leo felt the pull of her story, the easy path of believing a sad, simple betrayal. He almost took it. He apologized for doubting her and left. But as he drove home, the genealogist called. "Mr. Hart, I've analyzed your birth record. The form itself is period appropriate. However, the registrar's stamp uses a departmental seal that was officially retired in 1992. You were born in 1995. This document could not have been created at your birth. It was a fabrication, an expert one. His aunt had woven her lie around a counterfeit record. The story wasn't tragic. It was a cover, and the blue truck was now idling at the end of his block. Using funds from the Satchel, Leo retained a discreet investigator. The Pi staked out the mail service. On the fourth day, he transmitted a live image. A woman in her late 50s accessed the box. He traced her to a suburban home, ran the plates. Registered to Clarissa Vance, then he dove into archived records. The world tilted. Clarissa Vance wasn't his father's lover. She was his aunt. The woman who raised him, Claudia Hart, was living under a stolen identity. The investigator's next report was the explosion. Clarissa Vance had a sister. An older sister, Catherine Vance. Catherine Vance married Jonathan Hart in 1994. Catherine Vance perished in a hospital fire in 1996, a well-documented tragedy. The horrifying truth assembled itself. His father, Jonathan, likely survived, but the woman who acted as Leo's mother was not his mother. His biological mother, Catherine, died in 1996. Her younger sister, Clarissa, assumed her identity, stole her life, her husband, and her son. Motive? The $250,000 hinted at a substantial life insurance payout or a stolen estate. The crime was a perfect familial theft. And the man in the photograph? His living father? He must have uncovered the truth and fled into hiding. Nora knew. And with her final act, she gave her grandson the means to break free. The inheritance wasn't money. It was a loaded truth. Leo didn't confront Claudia. He orchestrated a meeting. He used more of the funds to hire a forensic audio expert. Then he invited his aunt to a quiet botanical garden cafe, a public space with controlled acoustics. He wore a concealed recorder. His state allowed one-party consent. "Aunt Claudia, I've thought it over. You were right to protect me. Thinking Dad just left is easier. I just need one answer to find peace so I can let this go. Ask me anything, sweetheart." Leo placed a printout of Catherine Vance's 1996 death certificate on the table between them. "A researcher found this. It says my mother died in a fire. Can you explain this to me? Who am I? And who exactly are you?" Her face didn't show shock. It showed recognition. And panic. The audio expert's later analysis showed definitive stress spikes. "Where did you get this? This is fraudulent. Someone is targeting our family. Are they? Because Clarissa Vance, your twin sister, rents the mailbox my father uses. Did you think Grandma didn't know? She left everything to me." "Not to you, Clarissa. Using her real name was the detonator." The facade shattered, not into tears, but into a rushed, hissed justification. "It was a mistake. The hospital fire. It was chaos. She was going to take everything. I just stepped into the life that was already ruined. The money was rightfully mine. Ours, Nora always suspected. The meddling old woman, every word was captured. Admission of identity theft, fraud, knowledge of a death. Leo gave a subtle nod to a man reading a newspaper nearby, a former federal agent he'd hired for security. The agent stood. Two uniformed officers approached from the garden path. The arrest was swift and silent. The recording, the death certificate, the property trust, the DNA test Leo had quietly submitted, the fraudulent birth record, it was an inescapable web. Clarissa Vance pled guilty to aggravated identity theft, wire fraud, and falsification of vital records. She received a sentence of 10 to 15 years. The $250,000 was held as evidence, though a subsequent civil judgment awarded a significant portion to Leo as restitution for his mother's stolen assets. As for Jonathan Hart, the PI located him, living quietly under an assumed name in Washington state. That first phone call had been him, breaking a decades-long silence to protect the son he thought he'd lost forever. He'd been hiding, convinced the imposter in his family was capable of anything. Their reunion is cautious, filled with a grief that has no name. They are learning now how to be father and son. Leo used the restitution to secure the property and pay its debts. He doesn't stay there. It's a monument to a truth recovered, not a home. He donated a portion to a charity that supports victims of identity-based crimes. What was the real lesson? Leo told me this: the most dangerous prison is the one built from lies you believe are love. Justice wasn't her sentence. Justice was getting my own name back. The leather satchel didn't contain a fortune. It contained a weapon to break the lock on a life lived in the dark. And sometimes that is the only legacy with any real value. If you have ever uncovered a family secret that changed everything, share your experience below. And if this journey into a hidden past resonated with you, please like this video and subscribe to the Winds of Thought channel. Truth has a way of surfacing. I'll see you in the next story.